Hi guys, what's going on? Bit tired, mate. We've streamed a lot this week and played a lot, and yeah, I thought what I'd do is go through some of these games I've played, or at least one of them anyway, which will be this one here. Not because I dropped a lot of kills, it's simply because I think it's going to be informative. And there's more like kind of mid-late game stuff here, because early game there isn't really much happening, and I'm actually behind the enemy jungler, but I'm able to like exploit their mistakes. So what I'm really going to get into here is the enemy jungler's mistakes and how you can spot them and abuse them in your games. And let me just say this, unless you are a high challenger, these mistakes are going to exist in your games, okay? So this is very important to pay attention to. So, what we're going to get into here. In this game, I'm a little bit scared of these guys invading me on Raptors, so I'm going to start red buff in this game, and I'm going to try to relate this to as many junglers as possible. So what I'm actually going to do is actually just skip this to when I'm actually clearing the camps, right? And yeah, so we're going to skip this to when I'm actually clearing the camp, so this could just be like any jungler starting on red buff, right? I'm also just going to lower the sound, just so I can hear myself think. So we're going to start on red buff. I've got no wards on where this Lillia starts, but I'm guessing Lillia is going to start topside. Why? If you were Lillia, where would you path towards? Probably the Pike with Ignite, right? And because for red team, as a Lillia, starting Raptors is really nice. Why? Because you can do Raptors and Krugs, and they're very easy camps for you to do because they are like multiple monster camps and you're an AoE champion. So I'm guessing here that Lillia starts topside. Already in this game, my bot lane is getting destroyed. The Zyra is 1 HP under tower, and I'm already like, oh, okay, GG. Not really. My mental's actually been really good recently. But yeah, like, I've already noticed this. After this Raptor camp, what I would love to do is go and gank bot lane, because I know that I'd be quicker to this bot lane than Lillia, right? Because I have the quickest level 3 in the game, basically, at 215, there or thereabouts. If you backstab perfectly, like, missing a couple of backstabs, kind of whatever. But yeah, that's what I wanted to do. It was either gank bot or maybe take her blue, ward over, and wait for her. Just anything to the enemy jungle here, right? Or any gank. That's just like the Shaco way, I guess. If you're playing another champion here, you might consider just clearing because bot looks really cooked and you can never invade as quick as Shaco, right? So if you're playing another champion here, I think that's impossible because you're going to be 10 seconds slower. And that means Lillia is going to be moving over here as you're moving in. You can't actually do the blue buff before she gets here. That's why Shaco is so powerful early at this stage of the game because of his pace through the first three camps. And it enables you to do stuff, right? Like I said, gank, invade, whatever it is. But I see Aurelia going nuts here, so I kind of hover through mid, and my Q isn't that good. My Q should obviously be out here, and then I should insta-skill E, which I kind of do, but my Q's a little bit off, so I miss out on just getting a kill here. And the amazing thing is that Orianna doesn't actually get the kill, the tower does. So already in this game, I think it's useful because I'm not snowballing. And I've just given away where I am and what I've done. So the enemy jungler here can kind of breathe a sigh of relief. Now I'm not going to invade. Why? Because, look at the time for me. At this time, I should be about here on my champion. If I were to do this now, it's going to be like 235 by the time I get on the Lillia's blue. Where is she going to be at 235? Probably halfway through walls. So when she comes around this corner, I'm doing blue. I haven't finished it and setting up here. I'm still doing it, which is terrible, right? Pike's going to come over, Aurelia with TP. So now the entire game and early game has kind of changed because of this. If I got the kill here, obviously it's great, but even getting the kill wouldn't make me do this, right? So now I just clear camps, that's it. Top lane, there's no kill. Why? Because Jax has already killed the Aatrox. So if Aatrox was 1 HP here, I might consider running top and killing him. If Jax is this HP, I might consider pinging here and telling him to be careful that Lillia might gank him. But he's already running off the wave, so I'm like, oh, he'll be okay. And I can probably react to that anyway. So Lillia so far hasn't really made any mistakes, right? We finished walls. I'm getting pinged as well by Lillia. Let's go. And I'm just clearing blue buff here. You can see me ping on the way here to top. Why do I ping on the way? Without looking at that lane, can you guys tell? Can you guys figure out why I would be pinging towards top? So if I go through the chat, the Jax has pinged the Aatrox's flash 3 times. So I know Aatrox doesn't have flash. And also I know that lane is pushing towards us. Why? I even showed you the lane before. That was just before Jax recalled. So there he is recalling. That's the lane. Where's this lane pushing? It's pushing towards us. It's pushing towards our side of the map. Why? these red minions are already formed, which means that they are going to clear through whatever is in front of them very quickly because they're all ready to attack. So watch. See how they're all attacking? It takes the blue minions a little bit of time to form and congregate and then deal damage, all of them. So because the red minion wave is already formed, it's going to push towards us. And Aatrox being here as well, he's also adding damage to his minion wave. So yeah, this wave is pushing towards us, just in case you didn't understand like how that worked. So I already know here that the wave is pushing towards us. So I'm very excited to go top. So that's why I ping on the way here to gank top lane. Unfortunately, though, I think my Jax stuffs up because an Aatrox with no flash here should just be a free kill. Maybe I should wait for Jax's level 3. But I feel like I have to go in on one of these minions, right? So I Q in, and the Jax jumps way too early. I don't know why he jumped. He should just E here, and then he should jump in. And unfortunately, we miss out on a kill. And I don't know how, but my box doesn't trigger here. I don't know why that is. Like, it triggers so late, so I don't know if Aatrox's knock-up, like, reset the cooldown of the fear. But that just looked really weird to me. But anyway, we don't get a kill. It kind of sucks. But I'm not really losing anything, you know? It's not like I could have done Gromp instead. I've just cleared all my camps. All right, I don't clear Crab as quick. But this kind of is a free gank, so not getting a kill, yes, it's a bit tilting. But, yeah. And you can see me ping because I was a little bit tilted. I'm sorry, but that mental, honestly, is pretty good for me. Normally, I'd just be, like, moaning about the Jax going in with Q for no reason. So the mental is a little bit better. I see Lillia bot. I even pinged this, I think. Or maybe, did I ping? I can't actually remember. Maybe I pinged back here. Let me just double check. But obviously, I should be pinging bot side here, and I don't actually think I do. So this is pretty bad, guys. So you see, like, even, like, if I go through my games, I'm going to find mistakes. But even with these, if you don't ping, yes, that does make a difference for sure. But still, I can still go 21 and, you know, whatever. Just through playing the game well enough. So, yeah, let's just keep going then. Oh, yeah, I do ping. So this is me pinging. So 315 or 312, whatever it was. I know it's a bit weird, but this is me pinging here to be careful. And yeah, like I was thinking it's kind of weird because I swear I do that all the time. But yeah. Anyway, so we get off this wave. The Lillia gets kills bot. She doesn't use flash right because they don't ping it. I'm kind of amazed my bot lane dies, but that's just what happens. And as I'm clearing this crab, I'm looking mid, and I see that the wave is kind of good because Aurelia loves to queue in, right? So the wave is good. And I know Lillia is kind of around here because she's doing crab, right? So she could push this towards mid. Right, and she could counter gank this. But the great thing about my champion is that his gank is like quick. It's very, very hard to react to, right? Because the damage is instant. It's not like I show for 3 seconds before landing a Lee Sin Q or a Lee Cocoon or something like this, right? So because I'm Shaco here, I can really like Q in and quickly make this gank happen. And even if Lillia was here, right, she's just going to watch her Aurelia die and can't do anything about it. Yes, it's pretty sure what Aurelia does. But that's just what it is. It's capitalizing on your opponent's mistakes and, yeah, responding to it, right? So we get a kill. I use Ignite there because I want to kill her quickly. And, yeah. So we get a kill. What do I do after this, do you guys think? Do I go for Lillia's Raptors? Because I could. Oh, my goodness. Lillia's Raptors look so good. Because she's probably started there, right? And she's bot side. Well, what about if Lillia recalled after doing crab? What about if she's running there right now? If she's running there right now, I've got a 1v1-er. Is that 1v1 good? No, because it's not going to be a 1v1. Why is that? Because Aurelia has... Oh, she's already used TP, actually. Never mind. Yeah, so I could have, like, invaded her here. But the issue with this is that I don't know the outcome of that, and Lillia could be doing them already. Or she could have recalled, and she's running here with Faded Ashes. So you see how my brain also thought about Aurelia TP? So I know she doesn't have it here, and hopefully I would have thought that in the game. But that's something you guys have to consider. I also alluded to it like earlier, if you invade or something like that. So, yeah, it's very important to try to, like, see the future in terms of what champions can be there. Even Pyke could be running out of base. Like, maybe he recalled kind of recently. He could be running out of base, flexing and ready because they might expect it. So here I'm like, I don't know if that's good or not. Like, I don't see the future with that. So, you know what? All I'm going to do is just recall. That's it. Where do I go out of base? Well, here, I didn't know if Lillia was doing some weird shit to my Raptors. So I ran out of base and protected Raptors. And as soon as I see Raptors gone here, or, like, still here, sorry. I don't have to clear these. So all I'm going to do here is just run to Krugs, and we're going to do Krugs. And I know bot lane is fighting here, so I'm keeping my eye on this, and I see Jinx really low. So I'm thinking, oh, if I go bot here, this could be good. But I'm kind of thinking that Jinx is going to recall, and also my bot lane doesn't need me just yet. So I'm going to go Krugs into Raptors. Lillia shows top, which is great for me. And this is a mistake. Why is this a mistake from the Lillia here being top? because she's so far behind me now in terms of tempo, right? In terms of being on the map. So she clears her top side here and then decides to gank top lane. Now, honestly, it's not the worst decision in the world, but the issue here is that she's giving me potential counterplay, right? So we'll see like what that counterplay is. And I want you guys to figure it out. So as soon as I see her top here with a jungle item, I'm like, oh, first of all, she doesn't get a kill. That's amazing. But the other thing here is like, she needs to base. Therefore, she's 30 seconds behind me. Because she needs to recall 8 seconds and then get back on the map. On the map just means from her camps and beyond. Yeah? Because that means that if I'm doing something to her camp, she can cover them. So 30 seconds is really what I'm ahead here. So I'm 30 seconds ahead. So what can I do in 30 seconds? I can do her walls. So I decide to invade here. And you can see this person isn't actually really too bad. Like, she's pinging me and stuff and what I could do. It's just that I know her laners are never going to respond. So I take the walls and I dip. And we run out, right? And I don't do gromp because I'm scared of Lillia running here. So we kind of judge this perfectly, right? Just walls, quickly, and then we come out. And you might be like, oh yeah, but Eagz, like in that time, you could have done your walls and gromp. Like if we go back here. Imagine that. I could have done my walls and gromp. Oh, yeah. But I can do them afterwards anyway. You know what I mean? Like, I'm always getting these camps. So, yeah, I don't really see the point in not doing that. As I'm pathing top, so during walls, right? I'm looking at top lane and thinking, wow, he's low. And then I think, oh, Jax is dead. That kind of sucks. But he's really low. I don't really care about Jax. Is this guy killable? Of course. So I'm going to run top. I have a sweeper as well. I also have my rune that tells me if something is warded near me. So I know this is a free kill. So what do? We sweep just to make sure. Don't really need to sweep, but anyway. And then I'm going to queue in from this wall when he goes up for the CS. Thankfully, this guy keeps running up, but I do have Ignite as well here very soon. So even if he was recalling here, I could probably get one auto attack in, Ignite, and then E right at the end. But yeah, this is just a free kill, right? Don't need to Ignite. Leave the wave as well. Go back to Gromp. Why am I going back to Gromp and not recalling? Because I could consider recalling here and running to red buff to cover it. But here's like kind of where it gets detailed. When I run away here from top lane, I know the only thing Lillia can be doing right now is what? The dragon, right? That is the only thing she can be doing right now. So I'm not really that worried about my red buff until the game says she's finished dragon. It's not like my red buff is up here. Because if my red buff was up, I know it's gone. So I'm pretty sure I can do Gromp here to finish my camps. And then I can base. So it's a little bit sketchy because red buff is spawning soon. But again, she would be on dragon, right? If she was going to do anything bot side here, she's doing dragon in terms of camps. Of course, she could look to dive bot lane if it's diveable. She could look to gank mid as well. But in terms of camps, it's got to be dragon here, right? Which is what she's doing. So I kind of know that I have a little bit of time here to do Gromp into a recall. And you see when I'm recalling, I just call this active recalling. So all the boys I've coached recently would have heard this. And it's recalling with a purpose, bro. So there's like a few things I do. Basically, every time I recall, I know in my head, and sometimes I will communicate it if I think teammates might be involved. So if I'm running to Elder Dragon out of base and know that's the play, I'm going to ping on the way. Because everyone, later in a game, is a jungler, really, right? But even early game, I'm pinging here because there might be a fight. Lillia could be here. Their mid laner could roam over. Their Pyke could be here, etc. So when I think my teammates could be involved in a play, I'm going to ping on the way to let them know while I'm basing, hey, this is where I'm going. You know, just put it in their subconscious in a way. So if a fight does happen, they're more inclined to move because it's already in their brain. So it's very useful for you guys to ping on the way while you're basing here. And obviously while I'm basing, I know exactly what I'm going to buy. So whatever I buy here, 3 longswords, I'm guessing. Yep. So 3 longswords and I'm running out of base. I'm looking at this fight and I ping Lillia. So anything you see, you should ping. It's communication. It's information. It's details. It is power. Knowledge is power. So I ping. And if anyone flashes, I'm going to ping it. I should ping Pyke Ignite. But I'm looking here and thinking, oh, okay, so Lillia has no ult. Maybe I can do something here. Kind of sucks my bot lane, like, you know, goes for a heavy trade when we know she's on dragon. But that's just how it is. Some people are going to make weird decisions and put you in a bit of a hole, mate. Because this Lillia hasn't really done much. I've pinged where she is, and my bot lane's died twice to a Lillia gank. Kind of depressing, but it is what it is. Anyway, I kind of chase here. Pyke runs off, and yeah. This Jinx does something funny here. She ults Krugs, which is a fascinating decision. Anyway, she ults Krugs, and we're just going to keep clearing here. Why? Because I can't really do anything else. Am I going to do anything to Lillia here? Am I going to run into her top side? But I see her here, and I'm like, wait, what? So if I was playing as Lillia back here, I would have recalled. Maybe doing crab is fine, but after crab, I'm definitely recalling. Why? Because if we look at her gold, she's got 1180 gold. So this is a mistake, right? If she plays this game well, I don't think I can really do much in this game, and she should 1v9. Like, look at my bot lane here. So when you guys ask how to play from behind, you have to hope the enemy champion makes mistakes. That's it. You guys realize there is no secret sauce, right? It's not like you start praying, or, I don't know, you sit in a different position, or anything like that. You have to hope the most fed champion throws by doing something stupid, right? Now, how do we recognize she's doing something stupid here? She isn't recalling. So if I just play you this, she's doing crab. So if I were her, after this crab, I'm basing and I'm going to run where? She could take my raptors, but I think it's a big waste of time because she could be doing something better, which is recalling and running to grubs on time. Now, she doesn't have her ultimate, but it could even be argued that, hey, she could just recall and go Krugs, red raptors, let me have grubs because she doesn't have her R, and then she just comes bot again and kills my bot lane for the 15th time. That's what I would be thinking if I were her here. Now, of course, when she's running to Krugs or out here, right? Because grubs will be spawning if she recalls now. So remember, 30 seconds is a base and getting back on the map. So it's going to be around 8-10 when she gets back on this line. So she could definitely do grubs if the map is permitting her. Pyke could be running here. Aatrox could have solo killed the Jax. Orianna might have died. So even though she doesn't have her ultimate here, she could still do the grubs, even though I'm a threat to her because I have my ultimate and ignite, etc. So this is a big thing here, realizing timings in terms of resources, right? So by her actually running into my raptors here and taking them, she's delaying this powerful move out of base with a big item buy, right? Whether it's Faded Ashes and Boots, whether it's Sork Shoes, Merc Treads, like it doesn't matter, right? Like whatever that champion buys, you could be another jungler buying a Dirk, or I don't know, 3 longswords, pickaxe longsword. That's obviously a lot of gold, right? So the timings is one of the things that's very important. And the other thing here is just her ult being on cooldown. Her ult being on cooldown I know about because what did I see and do? I pinged it back. Where was it? Up here. So I know that when she killed my bot lane, which was like 30 seconds ago, I think, I know she used it down here, right? So I'm versing a jungle without R, guys. If I'm versing a Rengar with no ultimate, if I'm versing a Kha'Zix with no ultimate, if I'm versing a Kayn with no ultimate, a Hecarim with no ultimate, it changes those champions completely. And it hard wins me the 1v1. So I am going to look every time I can when their ult is on cooldown to force something. Whether it's a resource in the rivers, so like a dragon or grubs, or a resource on their side of the map, so like their top quadrant or their blue buff. So, what I have in my head here is I want to kill this Jinx because she stole Krugs with her ultimate. But after this, I'm going to spot Lillia here. And I think, oh, I'm going to press tab because I want to see if she's based. Wait, what? She's still got Haunting, guys. This person hasn't based, and we can also tell because of her HP and mana. So I know here that when grubs are respawning like this, it's like, wait, what? This person hasn't recalled here. That's really weird. So if I can do something in these river objectives, or on her quadrants, I'm going to look to do it here. Now, of course, you can't be that stubborn and just always do it because sometimes you're going to have really bad lanes. But let's see what I do here. So we're going to move over. We're going to move over to grubs as well. And all of a sudden, I don't see her doing grubs. Why? Because she is stuck on the map. She didn't recall before the grubs. So now, what I'm guessing she's doing is her top side. And because of that, she is losing so much time because I'm going to do the grubs here. What she should be doing, like I suggested before, is maybe contesting. So just imagine, guys, remember, she did the crab at 740, right? She recalls. That's what I would do. So recall at 740, we run out here. Now, if I was running out here as Lillia, and this is the map, he's on a base, but he does have TP, which is nice, but he doesn't have ultimate. Okay, he does have flash, though. So I'm guessing top lane is pretty even, right? If Aatrox has used his ultimate, I'm guessing Jax has used his. But my Aatrox is winning here. And like steel caps are just really good, right, against Shaco and Jax. So my Aatrox is actually good. What about mid lane? Well, my mid laner doesn't have ultimate, But she's coming back on the map with me after spending gold. And honestly, like, she even looks more useful than Orianna here. So maybe even Lillia might be thinking, even if Shaco has ultimate, maybe I can contest him on grubs. But if she doesn't think she can contest me, all she should be doing is probably red and raptors, which would get her to about 8 minutes 40 seconds, right? And then she can think of doing this again to my bot lane. Or what she does is clear until her ultimate's back up, and then she comes to like make some sort of play bot. Hopefully that makes sense. This is a massive mistake what she has just done. So what is the mistake again? Her staying on the map for when a resource can be contested. So you either directly confront the resource. So think of like Atakan that spawns at 20 minutes. I think that objective gets taken a lot of the time when it spawns. Okay? That's what I think anyway. Because lots of teams have damage, and damage is so high, right, that Atakan can get shredded at 20 minutes, right, by a team. So think of it like that. We're just substituting Atakan here for grubs. So as soon as grubs spawn at 8 minutes, you need to be either directly confronting them by fighting because you win based on ults and cooldowns and numbers, etc. Or you're indirectly confronting it by doing something on the other side of the map. So even though my camps aren't here, the Lillia could be pathing here and she'd be ahead of me towards this bot lane that really matters in this game. And then she could pressure them off the tower. She could dive them if they have their ultimates and stuff, even without their ultimates. Her just throwing Eagz out and using Qs, etc. and really pressuring them. That is easily good enough. And my bot lane, honestly, would probably just have to run off. So this is the first big mistake this player makes. Because even in this position here, guys, I can't do much if she recalls, if anything. And the game, like I said, it's going to be very difficult. But this is Master. I think she's 100 LP career. She's really not that bad of a player, but I look at this and I think that is a massive mistake. So hopefully you're going to pay attention to that in your games. So how did I know it was a mistake? Because she hasn't recalled to spend gold before the grubs. So she is stuck on the map here. And also, it's kind of obvious when you knew her HP, when she showed mid lane, after doing my Raptors, she was like half HP and pretty right? So because she's done that at like close to 8 minutes, if she recalls, I can actually just do all the grubs before she even gets there. And it's like, oh, you just lost an objective and an Atakan stack. Thanks very much. So that's the mistake she made. And how do I exploit it? By doing the objectives straight away. Why would I hit wolves or wait for wolves? Why would I hit blue and do these camps? Like I said, when I went into her wolf camp, my wolves and Gromp are still here. When I go to grubs, my blue and wolves, and no doubt Gromp in the near future, these camps are still there. So, we do grubs. And you see me pinging bot side here. So as soon as I know they have vision or knowledge of me, so the announcer will say, Shaco has done the grubs. The blue team has done the grubs. Lillia will be thinking, damn him. I'm going to kill his bot lane again. So that's where I've pinged, right? Bottom side of mid, top side of bot. I mean, it's always going to be top side of bot, right? But yeah, bottom side of mid, just anywhere bot side, you ping that shit. And hopefully they don't die. But again, sometimes they're going to run it down. And eventually this person bases for Liandry's. And if you're thinking, Eagz, isn't it really good what she did? Like now she has her big item. No, it's not good. Because why does she need Liandry's? Is that a prerequisite to winning a game? You have to base on your major items? Like that's a must? Of course not. It is timing resources. Timing yourself to be at resources or to be at least countering those resources. Like we just talked about, the direct counterplay, which is being there, or the direct play, or the actual indirect, which is the counterplay on the other side of the map, right? So because she's so late here, I get the grubs for free, and we're actually still kind of stable in this game. What can I do here? I still have my ultimate for sure, but I'm also kind of on a base here. How am I on a base? Because I've been on the map for a little bit, and I'm getting closer and closer to my Cyclo Sword, right? So we're going to clear these camps. I might even ping bot lane just one more time, because here, I know that I'm just clearing camps, right? I'm just clearing Gromp. Now, I could actually run top here for sure. Let's see what I do, because I could think about it, but yeah. I could do it, but I still think I can go there after Gromp, right? So I'm going to clear Gromp, and then I'm going to go there again. You can see me pinging here, because I know I am committed to top side here. I am committed to doing something in this lane. So when I show here, I know that my bot lane again is going to be vulnerable to Lillia. So, let's keep watching. So we go top, I Q in, get in the brush, I even ping my Q, wait for Q, this is me communicating. So all of this communication, guys, adds up. Me pinging Lillia's ultimate, me pinging on the way while I'm recalling, telling my teammates where I'm going out of base, telling the bot side of the map to relax because Lillia will be looking to do something when I'm showing myself top. So I'm even preparing them for it here. I'm even telling my Jax, wait for my Q, bruv. Because that's how we win this, right? Wait for my Q again, just to remind him. Your teammates are like Dory from Finding Nemo. They forget things even a second ago. You've got to keep reminding them. Pretty standard kill. Don't really have to do anything. Move away from the wave. Try let Jax get all the experience. And then we're going to recall. Why am I recalling? And look where I ping. Because I know my bot camps are respawning. What have I done topside? I've done grubs. I've done blue, wolves, gromp, into a gank. That's quite a lot of time. So I know just off instinct here that my bot camps are going to spawn. And then I run out bot. This is another mistake from Lillia. So at this point in the game, I'm very happy again because she's topside. Now, even though she looks extremely fed, and she is, this is actually bad. Her top laner does really well in this game. Don't know how, because Jax solo killed him level 2, and we almost killed him level 3. So Jax has somehow thrown the lane in a way. But her being top here, I would much rather her be killing my Jax than killing my bot lane. Why? You guys might think Xayah02, Rakan02. It's really good if she kills your Jax here. How? Well, because her Jinx is more fed than the Aatrox. So I would rather a bigger snowball than getting 2 small snowballs. Or a medium snowball and a small snowball. I would much rather have a massive snowball that is going to just take over the map no matter what. That is going to be her bot lane here. And herself as well. So her showing top here, so I'm guessing what she's done, I'll rewind this in a second, is that from grubs, so while I was doing grubs, she's gone like this, into a recall, then she's done some stuff bot side, and then she's eventually pathed back up here. So let's go back and see what she did. So let's press F2. So there she is, clearing her camp. She decides to recall eventually, and she runs bot side. Let's forward this. She does walls. Again, I'm not going to talk about this if this, like, you know, sequencing is good or bad or not. She does blue. And then she decides to roam. Okay, she picks up mid-wave. This all looks fine. And then where is she going to go after this? Towards crab, right? And that's when I killed the Aatrox top. So now she's going to do the crab. And notice, by the way, guys, how I don't even go for this. Because, again, she could be diving bot lane. And I think my pings here. Can you see these pings on the map? Right here? That is me. 4 seconds ago. Ping into retreat. 2 retreat pings. So I'm immediately basing here because I think she's going to be bot side. So again, if you're not versing high challengers, even challengers who I've like coached and even played against and just watched to help others, their macro is really not that great. So even in that elo, you can beat people even if you are behind, right? Because they will make mistakes. It's just understanding like what the mistake is here. So this mistake from Lillia is just actually not being... Again, this kind of is a domino effect from grubs, not recalling at the right time and setting yourself up for like the next 1 or 2 minutes or whatever. Yeah? But that's the main point here. This is like a domino that's fallen already, okay? And this is just the future of that. So you can see me here pinging, like, be careful, Lillia could be here, guys. And you see how I sprint out bot side, and I see her top, and I'm like, thank goodness for that. Think about it like cars, right? This Jinx could be a Ferrari in this game. Like, she's almost there, to be honest, but not quite just yet. She's not worth 700 gold, and, you know, the CS isn't double just yet, but it could be. And that's what a Ferrari is. This person is maybe like a, you know, what's a car? I don't know. Middle of the road car. Yeah? Like, it's good. Like, we've got, you know, 2 wheelbarrows. Like, these 2 people, bro, are wheelbarrows. Yeah, that's what we have. These are terrible. So at least they have cars. I've got a wheelbarrow. But this could be a Ferrari. This could be a monster truck. And I would much rather have a monster truck than a couple of cars, yeah? Which will be her top lane and bot lane here. Hopefully that analogy makes sense. That was quite badly articulated. Badly articulated. Great couple of words I've used. And yeah, this is when you know you're having a great game. When you're 3-0 and your Krugs awarded the whole game. You're getting Jinx salted on Krugs. But anyway, we end up winning this game. And I think it's actually quite an easy win, even though it's quite stressful. So anyway, let's continue. So we're going to do Krugs, right? What else can I do here? They see me on the ward. They know I'm here. It's impossible for me to really do anything right to their bot lane. Now I'm going to move towards mid and look mid. So Aurelia's doing something. She may have used her ultimate. I don't know if Orianna pinged. Then I see Lillia, and I'm pinging on the way because if Lillia shows and really overextends, I will kill her with Orianna, right? Now after this is where it gets a little interesting because what do we do? Like there's nothing on the map. So you can obviously pause this and like say what you would do, and I would encourage you to do that whenever I ask a question and before I even play the video. So if I'm playing it like this and you're like, oh, I want to guess where Eagz goes, even if I don't ask a question, do it. It's good exercise. So I look at this minimap and I think, what is like the next big kind of like play here? Because my top camps I'm going to spawn for a little bit, and my bot camps I've just done them. So I look at the minimap and I think, oh, Dragon's up soon. Now, yes, it is true that we have a losing bot lane, but the way you turn these around is by getting picks. So, excuse me, as Shaco here, I'm thinking about getting a pick on anyone who might run through here. So what I'm thinking of doing is going here and queuing over and getting in this brush and setting up for Pyke face checking. Lillia might face check, and if I can do that, we might give ourselves a chance of making it a quick 4v3. For the drag fight, yeah? So that's what I'm thinking here. So I'm going to clear these. We see the Pyke. I don't really care about Pyke. I know Lillia's not here as well because she's topside. How do I know she's topside? She threw an E out at the Orianna from this top brush. So I know after that, she's probably going to clear our camps again. So I know this is just an isolated Pyke. I don't care about him. He can do that to me. So I'm going to clear the ward, make it look as if I'm running off. Then I'm going to go in, queue over the wall, and I'm going to box here. Now, the unfortunate thing here is that this is on cooldown. My sixth sense. So I'm not going to know if this is watered or not unless I have sweeper. So I've got sweeper in like a few seconds, right? So we're going to do this, and then I'm going to put my sweeper. And unfortunately here, the Pyke who runs in with his sweeper can see me here, right? Which is pretty AIDS. And then Lillia hits me with her sleep and stuff. And yeah. But again, like this posturing I kind of have to do because I don't want to give up drag for free, right? And remember that I am pretty fed here. Like Cyclone Sword and 2 Longswords is pretty good at this stage of the game. It's going to hurt whoever I go on. Now, I also just want to point out that the only other person on this team who's doing kind of well is Orianna. She actually has her major item, and Aurelia doesn't have Bork yet. So if Orianna is ever in a position to do something, I will go there. So I see this, and I go bang on the Aurelia and do a little bit of damage to her. I'm going to box, and this is all just micro, right, and just knowing who you're against. Aurelia E, I press R. I'm on 130 ping. You guys should have no issue with dodging any of these spells. I put a box down mid-combo. Why box mid-combo? Because why not? This will buy you and your teammates time. So if you know a fight is going to happen in an area, putting a box down mid-combo, whether it's as you ult, after you ult, before you ult, whatever it is, just make sure you get your R timing perfect, and then you can put a box down before or after. It doesn't really matter. But please put a box down. You do not need your box for anything else in these fights. Put a box down for the CC. It can help you and your teammates out. Not just in terms of them living, but getting kills. Like this CC is actually useful, believe it or not. It's an important spell in these situations. So we put a box down, we fear the Lillia, and I know Lillia here is looking for some sort of sleep or something, but I'm pretty sure she just used it on this person. So I'm like, oh yeah, and now I'm just thinking about spacing her Q, right? Because she will hurt. She is fed in this game, so I don't really want to like run near her and just tank damage. So I'm going to smite, there's her Q, so I don't really worry about her anymore. So as soon as she's on cooldown here, so remember, we went on Aurelia, what did I think about? Aurelia E, Aurelia Ultimate. I saw her Eing, so I pressed R. She dies. I place a box, it fears all of them, and now I'm thinking about spacing Lillia Q. Because she's fed, I don't want to take that much damage. And now she's used Q, which is actually a cooldown, even though it is low. It's still a cooldown, so I'm not really scared of her here. If I tank 2 Qs, I actually might be really low. If her Q comes back up, I'm tanking 1. That's not enough to kill me, I don't care. So let's go in, doof, over the head, and I get a shutdown. I don't really do much here in this game. It's all on Lillia giving me opportunities because of her backing, and whatever she's done in like the last, I don't know, 30 seconds has also been really trolling. We'll look at it from her perspective as well. But I just want to show you what she should have done because I think it's useful. So I know in this game, whether it's like a human thing where I'm kind of confident now that she didn't bait. Like I know that these mistakes are bad, so I'm like, oh, she isn't like a fucking, 1500 LP smurf. I don't have to really like sweat or be scared, and someone playing on 2 ping who's really that good is going to be very hard to beat. So now I'm like, oh, this is easily winnable, so it's kind of relaxing in a way for me to play. So yeah, after this, we also know that Pyke is around, we know Aurelia is around, so, or the Jinx, sorry, and yeah. but I just chased the pike here. I kind of wanted to defend this tower, so if you guys just look at this, it's a bit of a mess actually after this. But I am kind of low, and the Jinx wasn't really in the fight, so I'm not sure if I really want to do dragon here and risk it. So I'm just thinking, okay, so we just won that fight, that's great, but I don't think we can do dragon here. Zyra's dead, Orianna used all her stuff, she's kind of low as well. I don't have my ultimate, this will die very soon, and Jinx is here, Pike is here, right? I don't really like it. I'm not sure, again, of the future. Think about level 4 at Raptors. I killed Aurelia at level 4 mid lane, and I could have ran to Lillia's Raptors, but I didn't know the outcome of that. Maybe she does them before I get there. Maybe Pike is flexing there out of base. I don't know. So I don't know if I can do dragon here, so I don't do it, guys. It should be obvious when you should do something. It should be like, wow, she's 1 HP. Wow, they don't have flash and they're running up with no ultimate. It should be that type of feeling and detail, yeah? Rather than, oh, I'm not sure. Okay, let's just do it anyway and flip. That's low elo. High elo is 100% knowing. Or very, very close to it, yes? And the only reason you lose, so if we lose that, right, because I get hit by Aurelia's E, it's still a good decision. It just comes down to execution at the end of the day. So let's continue this then. So we run down, I Q over, try to do something here, but I can't, and then I base. Why do I base? Because what else am I going to do? Run to wolves? And I'm on a bit of gold as well, right? Because I got shutdowns. So I'm just going to recall here. And it's also kind of nice because it allows me to path towards bot lane naturally. Bot lane, even though they are losing, they still might be able to do something in this game. So I still kind of want to path bot in a way. But anyway, it doesn't really matter about that. The point here, you can just look at the minimap and you can tell I need to recall. So I recall. There's nothing for me to farm. Running out of base, I run to red. Why do I run to red buff? Because Lillia might invade here. We also know the dragon is still up, right? So this Lillia might invade me here. So because this is an imminent threat, that's where I go first. I don't think she's going to invade my top side at all. Because it doesn't seem in my head anyway logical for her just to run out of base on a whim, hoping that my top camps are up when she doesn't have flash, doesn't have ultimate, and I'm actually pretty fed here. So if she met me on my top camps, I might even kill her, and we collapse on her. So I don't think she ever does that. But she might decide to do something down here with her support. Or with her strong bot lane. So I want to get rid of these camps first if they're here or spawning soon. That's the danger here. And that's also where they're going to be playing because of this. So that's where we go. We clear red. And then I'm going to do the same thing, right? Dragon is here, so I kind of want to catch someone out if I can. And there's she doing it. It's really unlucky as well, by the way. Like, look at that. And just remember here as well, guys, that Lillia, her ultimate is a lot longer than mine. And without it, she's kind of useless in a way. Yes, she can have Q stacks, but if I land one backstab with Cyclo Sword, I'm just way more useful, right? So if I think she's ever doing this without her ultimate, remember what I said before. This is how you're going to beat people. I know she doesn't have R here, nor flash. I have Ignite. Even without my ultimate, I'm still quite strong, right? Because of, like I said, Ignite, Cyclo Sword. Someone's getting half HP'd instantly with a backstab and Ignite, right? And the Cyclo damage. So if she is doing Dragon here, which I kind of hope she is, I'm confident that we can win a fight. Even without my R. Because she doesn't have hers, and she just looks like the weaker champion here. So after my red buff, I'm just going to secure this to make sure she doesn't do it. And then after red, do I do Krugs? No, because she could be doing drag here. Look where her team is playing. The Pike is pushed up. There's nothing stopping her from actually being able to do dragon here. Whether she like ran down here and eat over and leashed it to herself. I just get really unlucky here because she E's as soon as I turn around the corner. And yeah, maybe if she didn't do that, I'd be able to get onto her. But anyway, we continue. So I'm going to press E here. On the Lillia, get some damage in. Then I'm going to hit this ward. She actually uses her Q here, which is really weird. So this is all micro, I know. And you might be like, oh, this is pointless. Guys, there's no point being in the right place if you can't actually execute the play you're looking to make, whether it's a fight, an invade, something like that. So this micro is maybe even more important. Because if you have Iron micro here, no offense to anyone in Iron, I'm not saying like you're terrible, but if you don't have optimal micro, then there's no point being here, right? So let's think about this. Let's just see what I do. So I run in. Okay, and look at my Q cooldown. That's what I'm really looking at here. My ultimate's back up very soon as well. Why is my ultimate back up soon? That's because it's less powerful than Lillia's. So I know my ultimate, just generally speaking, is lower. And then I've also got haste from this. So I know that if both of us use our ultimates here, mine's going to come up sooner. This is very, very important. If you play Talon like I do if Shaco's banned, it's one of the things you can really abuse. Like, I run Ultimate Hunter a lot because you can just use your ultimate more, especially in solo queue where games can be very, very chaotic. So having a low ultimate cooldown is really beneficial in paying attention to those cooldowns. So as she's doing drag here, I'm like, oh, this is kind of weird. So she's used her E on me. I've got my ultimate coming up soon. I kind of want to clear the ward just because it's, yeah, you know, kind of useful to clear. And then I E her here, so my mouse will be on target champions only. So I'll press C. Look at the mouse go red. That's a very important keybind you guys need. Or hotkey or whatever you want to call it. Press C again, it goes away. How do I do that? You go game. This one here. Treat target champions only as a toggle. A toggle means that as soon as you press it, it stays on. If I turn this off, watch what happens when I press it once. It goes away, right? So you got to hold it down. I don't like that. So if you turn that on, you can just press it once and leave it. And it's on until you turn it back off. So I'm pressing target champions only here. Why? Because I don't want to hit the dragon. So I'm just going to E Lillia again. And what I'm looking for here is her Q. That's what I'm looking for. And she used it just before. So again, one more time for me. There's her E. There's her Q. I know it's not a 1 second cooldown. So I'm like, oh, she just kind of queued. Let's keep track of it. There's another one. Let's keep track of it. So here we are. I'm going to E her. There's another Q. So she just queued. She did not use her Q on me here. And I've got my Q up in 2 seconds. Not even that now, right? 1 second. I've got my R here as well. And I've got Cyclo Sword and so much damage. Here we come. So I go straight on her. I use my ultimate to dodge the Aurelia E again. And we kill this person in about 2 seconds. I don't do that much here, guys. This is all on the Lillia playing this badly. And again, I will go back through the previous sequence as well around this area where we want to fight. Around here, okay? But I'm just talking you through my point of view first, and then we'll get into hers. Which we kind of still are, like talking about her point of view, but yeah. And here I just want to play around my box, because I don't have cooldowns right, so if Aurelia jumps in, she might actually be able to randomly kill me. So I'm just playing passive around my box, letting my Q come off cooldown here, because my Q here is so good. And then I just come back to Dragon. I can't go on anyone here, so I'm going to do Drag. And then what I do is a bit of kind of like mind gaming on Shaco, which is very important. So I'm going to kind of make it look as if I'm going on Aurelia or even Pyke. So you can see me here, how I Q away from the fight. So I click back in and then Q up. So it's very important on my champion anyway, and this is probably the only champ who has some sort of mechanic like this, where you want to be queuing away from where you're looking. So if I look here, if I actually look at Pyke and also Jinx here, because I'm looking in that direction, it's a lot easier for the Jinx to run away. But if I look in any direction where she's not, so if I'm standing here and I look here, or if I look here, and then I queue over, it makes it very difficult for her to actually realize, oh shit, the Shaco's actually thinking of going on me, and she'll only realize that when I have hit her over the head already. Now here I should actually wait for the backstab. It's a little bit of ping, but I should wait now. I know she's going to probably auto attack again, so I should actually be patient here with a backstab. This was bad micro. Again, 130 ping does play a part, but still I'm good enough to do that, right? Not being arrogant, but I've done it before and I know it's in my head. But I just got a little bit hasty here and just wanted the Cyclo Sword. But it's still good, right? The actual mechanic of using Q like that is super important. She flashes for no reason, and we end up kind of like turning the game on its head. But I don't do much. It's this person. Look at the Lillia's score here. Look at the Lillia's score even back here after this bot play. She is super fed. This game is in her hands. If I was her, I'd be so happy, and I know the game's already over. Look at the Jinx as well. She throws the game. I do not do anything here but exploit her timing mistakes, and then her micro mistakes as well. So, I just need a sip of water. If this is useful, by the way, because I know this will be on Patreon, please leave some sort of comment. I know I got some good feedback from the last Eagz on Eagz. I know it's a bit Shaco-oriented, but yeah, I still think like it's essential, right, to be a top-tier jungler, like going through this stuff. So yeah, 1 second. Ah, lovely. Okay, so let's watch this game from her perspective, right? So we talked about this, you guys remember. So after this crowd, what are we doing and why? We are, she does not need to auto-attack that either, by the way. Even something like that's important. That's half a second. Why is she auto-attacking that with haunting guys and pet damage? I don't know. Just recall, bro. Why are we recalling here? Oh, but Eagz, I can take Raptors. I can take the Shaco's Raptors. Would you rather take Shaco's Raptors and lose grubs? Or leave them and potentially do grubs? And on top of that, if you can't do grubs, at least you're on the map. To counter... Excuse me. To counter the... I had some pasta, mate, and sausages for dinner. To counter the Shaco being on grubs and topside. At least you're in a position to counter quickly, rather than being AFK farming Narnia. Yeah? So, this is a mistake. Even though you guys might think, oh, Eagz goes on about taking camps all the time and stuff like that. Yeah, but only if you're not giving up something more important. I think she's giving up her own time here in a way. So it's kind of a weird concept, right? She's not really giving up something directly here. Like, I'm not even on grubs yet. I've got to find my red buff. But because she's overstaying here, that grubs timer, getting here on time, I can exploit that in the near future. Yeah? So it's not immediate, but it's in the near future. It's close enough. Yeah, in terms of timing here. And going mid as well, I don't know what she is doing here. It looks okay, but again, what is the opportunity cost? She's doing this, but what is she missing out on? Being at grubs. If she recalled after crab, she would literally be here with Sork shoes, I don't know, faded ashes, boots, whatever she wanted here. She would be so fed and ready to react to me doing grubs, whether, again, she wants to fight them, or if she wants to clear a couple of camps and then go here. Why clear a couple of camps? Because that gets rid of counterplay. If I think she's going to do something bot, after grubs, I might run in like a lunatic, even though it's kind of troll. But I might do it, right? So she gets rid of a little bit of counterplay, red raptors. If I see raptors gone, I'm never going to go to Krugs. So I'll just run off, right? So that's why you go red raptors. And then we come down and do something. So this is the first massive blunder from this player. She clears our top side, right? We can just get through this. And again, she's never really in a position to contest me on grubs. Why? Because she's on a massive buy. And it's not conclusive if she wins or not because of that. Especially without her ultimate. So at least if she recalled with some items, she could potentially contest me, and with HP and full mana, etc. She could maybe contest me on grubs. And again, if she can't, she is on the map for the counterplay. Because she overstays here and then recalls, I get grubs for free and don't really lose anything. She's not hitting my bot lane right now. And you can see how I'm pinging. I'm expecting her to show up here very, very soon. Which is why I ping even a little bit later, right? And here, this player doing wolves is fine. Doing blue is fine. And even Gromp, I think, is okay. But what I'm really trying to think about here is diving my bot lane ASAP. That is what I'm thinking about. She has her ultimate up right now. So if we go back here, doing wolves is okay because she does them so quick. And I think after wolves, if I was playing as Lillia here, what I'm trying to do is time my dive on the next wave or on a wave. So this next wave is a standard wave. So what she could do is just wait for the next one, which might be a cannon. I don't think it is actually, or is it? I'm just trying to think here because the timers are different now. But anyway, even if it was a cannon, it doesn't really matter. What she needs to think about here is how much time do I have to 3v2 bot lane before Shaco gets there? So remember, I want to clear camps here, right? If I just do grubs and recall, hoping she's going to dive bot, I'm leaving my whole top side here, which is terrible, right? That's so much golden experience. So I have to lock myself in, remember, to clearing these camps. It's too much golden experience for me just to leave here. So I have to pray that my bot lane doesn't die. So what she should be thinking is, as soon as I can hit the enemy bot lane, which is when I have my ultimate, I'm going to do it. So what I think she should do here is pay attention to this minion wave, and I think she should run straight bot now. Even if it's through vision, it doesn't really matter too much. If she wants to run round through here, might be even better. But she needs a blast cone to go over, right? So I still think just running through would be better. She can maybe ask her Pyke to use his sweeper through here, right? And they run through together. Lillia throws an E out or just runs up to the Xayah, hopefully sleeps her, and all of a sudden, like, my bot lane has to run off again, and now they're down 50 CS. Instead, this person is kind of asleep. You get it? Because of her ability? Yeah. Instead, this person is kind of just, like, asleep, literally, in terms of, like, paying attention to their ultimate cooldown and how powerful it is here. So you can kind of see how this Lillia just focuses on camps, and that's really it, instead of actually playing against me and also just abusing this timer here and just timing generally. Grubs, whatever it is, right? So this here, I think, is a mistake. I think she should just run straight bot and even leave these two camps here. That is almost impossible for me to react to the point where, and you know I think that in the game, this is not me hindsighting, because you see me pinging in the game. You can see what I'm thinking about the entire time. Because I ping here again, and I ping one more time, I think, near my Krugs brush bot when I show and kill Aatrox. So just watch in a second. I'm not worrying about what Lillia is doing, by the way. So I kill Aatrox and watch me ping. Look at that ping. I think she is doing this to my bot lane, and she is top. This is a massive mistake. What did she get for me killing the Aatrox? Crab. What should she have got? Maybe my bot lane. I can't do anything about bot lane, by the way. Like I said before, I have to clear my top camps because there's no guarantee she will do it. And also, I'm close to a Cyclo Sword, right? So me doing my top camps there, especially when Lillia is more fed than me, I need this golden experience for Cyclo Sword. Please do not die bot lane. But thankfully, this jungler is not super high elo, so does not make the right play. And again, this is kind of soothing for me, being a Shaco player especially, because now I know that the game is winnable and I'm versing someone who doesn't actually know how to jungle properly. So that's the game, or the last like kind of sequence from Lillia's point of view. And I'm going to keep watching, okay, for the dragon. So let's have a look here. And because she's in this position, would you guys go and kill the Jax? Of course, right? Who is not going to go and kill this guy? But if she uses her ultimate here, I think it's really troll. So let's see how she kills him. Uses E. Using E there could be questionable. I guess she did it from Fog. But I don't want to talk too much about micro here, so we'll continue. But yeah, who is not going to gank top? Her mechanics look good, right? Look at the spacing on her. That was very, very clean. And she runs off. And now what should she do? I think doing Raptors is fine. And I think doing Krugs are fine. Because I'm pretty sure before she did Raptors and then Krugs, right? So if her Raptors are up, Krugs are going to spawn soon. So if I was the Lillia here, I think Raptors into Krugs into a recall is good. So let's see if she does this. And the other thing here is what she should be doing is pinging bot lane to be careful. So you see how when I'm topside, yeah, killing the Aatrox like 30 seconds ago, or trying to kill him level 3, 4 after my clear. I tried to kill him level 4, right? When the wave was pushing towards us, I said that the wave was under tower, it's pushing to us, so I tried to gank him. Before I gank and after I gank this lane or do anything topside, even when I did grubs. And the announcer says to the red team, the blue team just did grubs, you might want to do something about it. That's what my brain is telling me. I ping bot. This is what this person should be doing here. She's topside. She just showed on the map. And I'm like, oh, so her bot lane's kind of vulnerable. Let me try to do something. And I try to do something bot. Or might try to. So she should be pinging bot side of the map here. And you can see that I show here, which kind of sucks, but it's whatever because Pyke has been up all game. And yeah, she does Raptors, which I think is good. Let's see where she goes now. She kind of goes towards mid lane because Aurelia ulted. I don't think this is the worst thing in the world. But here, like, you're never going to kill someone, right? Because Aurelia doesn't have flash. You also don't know if Shaco is going to be here to counter it. You're never killing this person. So hovering is okay, I think. But now? I don't know, man. Like, maybe doing that is okay. It's not the worst thing in the world. Because, yeah, I understand, like, Lillia's sleep and stuff. It might be worth it. Anyway. Don't know if that is actually the best play in the world. But anyway, after this, I think she can even do Krugs. Because I'm not sure what time this dragon spawns, right? So let's have a look. Let's get the exact timer for dragon and work this out. So dragon just spawned, right? So it's going to be like 11:55, let's say. Let's just say 12 minutes, roughly. So 12 minutes, right, is drag. Chat is currently disabled, thank you. 12 minutes for Drake, yeah? So if 12 minutes is dragon, we have a minute until we have to be there. So in other words, how long do we have until we probably need to recall for it? 30 seconds. So really, 11:30 is the timer here. So grubs might spawn at 8 minutes, but what is the real timer for grubs? 7:30. And it would have been 7:40 in this game. So if you're 10 seconds late, it shouldn't matter too much because you'll still get there in time to protect at least 2 of the grubs. So remember, these days you need 2 grubs to count as the objective, yeah? For a stack towards Atakan. So the timer here for drag, because it's 12, is about 11:30. Now, of course, Lillia is quite quick around the map, so she doesn't have to worry too much about that exact timing. Give or take 5-10 seconds from 11:30 should be fine. So when she does all this, look at the time for me, and she starts basing. It's 11:15. So if I were the Lillia here, I'm just going to do Krugs again. There's nothing wrong with just running to Krugs here and doing them. They're kind of sequenced with Raptors, and you max out your base and also your future gold in the game. She's going to get more Krugs in the game because she's reset them. And is she losing anything? No. I can't do anything. There's no camps of hers up bot. It's not like I'm on the dragon right now. That's spawning in 45 seconds. She should just go back to her Krugs here and do them. Instead, she recalls. Let's see what she does at a base. She can't do anything. Like, there's nothing to do, right? She's just sitting here, standing here. She could have just done Krugs instead. Oh my god, she threw an E at me. GG. Honestly, she should probably even ult me here, by the way. It's actually worth. Because trading my ultimate for hers, all they have to do is wait for my ultimate to run out. I can't really do anything. I'm really useless. So maybe even this was, like, bad for me. But yeah. I was just standing here trying to get some sort of pick. I was kind of unaware that Pyke was next to me with his sweeper, which is also quite bad. But anyway, let's focus on Lillia. Not this terrible Shaco player. And yeah, I guess like all she can do here is maybe wolves to get her Q stacking. So yeah, if I were the Lillia here, just because it's kind of Lillia specific, I would just be queuing off wolves to get my Q stacking. Maybe I even do Gromp. And yeah, like, a little bit weird, I think. But anyway, we end up going to this fight with no Q stacks. Even going to Dragon and Q stacking is good. But I almost feel like the damage has already been done, man, honestly. I think she should have ulted there. Also, this E as well. You even just see, like, how micro is so important. Like, I'm not doing drag, right? So what lots of people think is like, oh my god, like, I have to be in this area. It's like, I'm not even doing drag. Look at me. I'm never going to hit drag here. And she's like, oh, I can really get a pick here. Like, how are you going to get a pick? This guy just used Q and missed it. Your E, I guess you could throw out, but I've got Q and R. So how do you know you're going to get a pick here, right? It's not like the pike just hooked me in. So this person is really hoping that something happens. Again, she doesn't know. So if you don't know, just farm these, lead them down here, and see if anything's going on. If it's not, you can even just do Gromp and keep coming down. Then you can blast cone over, keep your stacks going, or renew them anyway, on Dragon. And if anything looks as if it might happen, you can throw your E out. But instead, what she does is run down here, throws the most random E of all time at max range, which is very important for this champion. So please, if you're playing Lillia, do not just throw your E out like a lunatic like that for fun, because it's a 10-second cooldown. And guess what? Shit might happen. Like me doing that to your mid laner. And then ulting her E. And then Orianna putting a nice ult in, and you flash into nothing and ult basically no one. You ulted the Shaco clone. So the macro and also the micro at this stage in this game was very, very questionable from this player, and those are the mistakes that I knew I was playing against. So again, it was comforting for me, knowing that I'm not versing Canyon. I'm versing someone who I can really beat if they have a lead, because I know they're going to make mistakes. But it's about knowing what these mistakes are and how you exploit them, which hopefully I've showed here for you guys. And the rest of the game, honestly, let's go through it. Screw it. We'll go through it. We'll go through it, because we've still got a lot left, right? So again, I just looked at the time, and it's almost an hour long, this video. Goodness gracious. So let's keep watching then. And yeah, she Qs here. I guess she has to. But again, the damage has already been done. She is dying no matter what because of what she did before. Okay? We'll go back to my point of view here. And we'll play this out, okay? So remember, this is, after this, guys, where I just recall because I've got nothing to do, right? And then what did I do? Just a quick refresher. We did red buff because she might contest it. And then I Q over to drag, knowing she has no ult timer, right? She has no ult, sorry. So here, I'm not really that scared of her. Oh my god, I just tanked her E. That's so bad. Not really, because I can just space her, right? I can run back. I throw my E at her, so she's slowed here. And all I'm looking for here is this, and maybe even this. I'm just looking to buy time here, that's all. Okay? That's all it is. So I run down, I'm looking to buy time, there's Lillia's Q, target champions only, E her again, I run at her here so she can't escape, and then I backstab her with an, I think that was a backstab, maybe that wasn't, I might have missed that one, I'm not sure, maybe I Q'd too far, but anyway, I just want to focus on like the actual idea of the play. If I don't get the micro right, just like the Jinx right, it might be because of ping or something, but anyway. And we end up winning this fight, okay. So I've talked about this enough. Here, I go right and then up. Not up and then up, because that's really obvious. So I go right and then Q. And we kill the Jinx. Now what do I do after this? Dragon's gone, so what do? What I'm looking for here is Rift Herald spawning in 50 seconds. Can you see how the Lillia in chat, this is actually just like the perfect comparison. The Lillia here, I really hope she doesn't ping it like in the next 5 seconds, but she hasn't been pinging at all. Like she pings me, where I am a little bit, but that's about it. She doesn't ping timings. I ping that Rift Herald is spawning soon, right? That's what I'm telling my team. That's spawning soon, guys. I'm not going to ping that if I'm not interested in it. So I'm pinging that because that's what I'm thinking about. That's what I want to play for here. So I'm letting everyone know that's probably where I want to be in the near future. So what I'm trying to think of here, if that's spawning in 50 seconds, I've got 20 seconds. So if I've got 50 seconds until that spawns, that means, because remember, recalling and getting back on the map takes 30 seconds, right? So therefore, I've got 20 seconds of actual like being on the map, right? I've got 20 seconds of gameplay here before I really have to think about pressing B. Even though I am thinking about it here, but you get my point, right? So because Rift Herald is up in 50 seconds, I'm thinking, right, I've got 20 seconds here. So in my opinion, I don't know if I do it because I actually can't remember most of this game. I think I'm going to do Raptors into Krugs into a base because I'm pretty sure I would have Collector as well. I definitely do. So I think here it's Raptors into Krugs into a recall. Let's see if I do this. It could even be recalling here, but yeah, I think I'm right in doing this. So we do Krugs into a base. I think here what I did is I pinged on the way bot. The reason I'm pinging on the way bot here is, well, first of all, I think the Aurelia is easy to kill because I know she doesn't have ultimate. She used it in this fight here. And the dragon, right? And I also think I'll be able to cover Rift Herald. Why? Because it's still quite early. Even though it looks like it's already late, and I'm going to get there late, it's quite specific to this map because we have gates. So I'm like, oh, I can probably even, recall at 1450 here and probably get there in time. That's how, like, broken the gates are with home guards now, right? Out of base as well. So I'm not really that worried about the timing, being pinpoint accurate. So as soon as I see Aurelia TPing here, I'm like, oh, she might get aggressive on my Orianna, and my Orianna does damage. So yeah, I think, like, if she goes in, we can kill her here. But unfortunately, she doesn't and backs off. And it looks like I lose a little bit of time, but not really. Again, because of the gates and stuff, I know I can get here and protect this stuff. So yeah, and you can see me pinging as well, I think, before, maybe here. Was I pinging or not? Naughty Shaco if he doesn't. Yeah, you see me pinging, okay. So, like, I'm pinging on the way. Again, I'm reinforcing. That's what I'm doing, guys. Jax, please be careful. This guy does not care, mate, about his LP. Look at how he's playing. So if you've got someone like this who's playing aggressive and almost not kind of, like, respecting your pings, be more aggressive. They obviously haven't got the message, so I should ping, like, even more here, like, on top of his head. I'm also going to look at what Lillia just did, by the way, because I think she missed some opportunities. Now, what I'm doing here is just chilling and waiting. Because I don't know. What I don't want to do here as a Shaco player anyway. But even as any jungler here, I don't really want to start blue buff and then they run in and start a fight here. I don't want to tank blue buff and lose HP for no reason. So I'm actually, again, think about this play down here. Dragon was the objective, right? At like, what would have been like 12, 13 minutes, maybe even earlier than that. I was looking to make a pick here. Same thing here. Imagine if the Pyke, face check this. I Q in, backstab, and he's going to be like 1 HP. We all of a sudden just win Rift Herald because we start Rift Herald fight, Pyke's not there, 5v4 GG. Or hopefully anyway. So hopefully that makes sense. I don't just want to run around this corner, start blue, and then they run in. Oh, that's fun. No. Patience. Try get a pick first. Champions are more important than camps. So if you can make a pick on a champion, do it. We also see Pyke here, right? So this guy's going to like run through and I'm like, oh, maybe I can catch him here because if he's running through like this and I Q, I'll be able to chunk him quickly. So that's what I try to do, but unfortunately, the game now has like a million things to counter my champion, and one of them has just been hit. Someone just hit the Scryer Orb, so unfortunately I can't do anything, right? So I have to show a bit of patience here. I don't want to get Pyke queued into a Lillia E, into being slept, and the worst thing you want to do on Shaq is use your ultimate to dodge something when you're not really doing it, using it for damage. So I want to use my ultimate while I'm killing someone. I want to use my ultimate, just like in this fight, to dodge the Aurelia E while I'm backstabbing her. So I space him, make sure I don't get hit, then I move up a little bit cautiously, and unfortunately here it's hard to do stuff just because our most fed champion, Orianna, or the second most fed, is bot side of the map here, right? So again, this is just about patience and playing it slow. If we don't get the Rift Herald, it's not the biggest deal in the world, but yeah. And then we run off. Where are these guys going to run? Probably around here, right? To get back to mid lane because my Xayah has access to mid. Their team might dive the Jax. We don't really care about this guy though. I'd much rather get some gold on my AD carry, who is hopefully going to carry the game with her attack damage at some point. So yeah, I'm almost kind of anticipating them to run round. Maybe I can get in this brush and put a box down. If you're any jungler here, you can just do the same and just sit in here, right? But again, you got to be careful. Like, the high reload you go, they're not going to be that stupid. So if they're kind of like zigzagging and moving backwards and forwards, if you're playing Lee Sin and land a Q onto the Pyke, he's probably just going to like, Q you or something mid-Q and you die. Yeah, so you got to be aware of like how they're playing as well and what their champions are kind of suggesting and the way that they're moving and stuff. Anyway, because I don't think there's any play for me to make now, they're clearly aware. When I ran around this corner to try to do what I just said, ambush them, the Pyke warded. They know that I'm up to something. So even if I ran in this brush, they might know what's going on. You see how the Jinx is running around in a very safe position and Pyke would have seen me as well, I think. So what do? Just go back to farming camps. There's nothing I can really do there. Again, while I'm farming these camps, I'm looking at the minimap, thinking about, like champions and stuff like that. Here it's a little bit annoying because this is warded, so I'm going to clear this. And I'm pretty sure my Jax dies here, which also sucks. So yeah, maybe I should go top, but I think it's impossible for me to kill this guy, especially without Ignite. And yeah, my Jax is 2 levels down in this game. And we still win this game pretty easily, again, because this person is making mistake after mistake. So we'll keep going. So I do blue. And what I'm really looking at here is mid lane. I don't care about top at all, because this guy is not going to impact the game. He's inting, right? The only person who can really help me here is Orianna. So where this person is, I'm going to try to be around. Whether she balls me, it's not really like to do with the mechanics of Orianna and Shaco. It's just the fact that when I press tab, she has damage. Jax doesn't even have a full item yet. This guy might as well, you know, be a minion. So, you know, this is a Ferrari in comparison to the wheelbarrow. Wheelbarrow, Ferrari. And I am a monster truck. So yeah, after blue, I'm like, oh, what do I do? Aatrox is hitting that. I can't really do anything to him. Then Pyke runs up with this. This is all just reacting to them kind of doing weird shit. Again, I have to hope that they run it down here for me to do anything, right? So I'm going to run up because it looks like they're inting. I'm going to queue over. We're going to use our stuff here. I'm going to ult the Lillia R. So again, this is all just knowing your champion's limits. I know that the Aatrox never kills me here. So I'm going to run in. Press my like stuff, try to blow him up. Unfortunately, he's got so much armor even at this stage, right, with these upgraded. And I also know that if Lillia presses R on me, I can just press ult and dodge it. So I've got my clone in there, dealing damage, which is great. I'm going to E her... I was going to say clone, but she doesn't have a clone. So I'm going to E the Lillia, which slows her, dodge her Q, let the clone do the work here. I'm pinging the Lillia as well, because she's the closest one to us. So you see here how I pinged her at some point. And yeah, we just get a free kill her, right? I also think Aatrox might die. So this is really nice. We get a couple of free picks. Beautiful. I also know this crab is up. How do I know the crab is up? Because this ward here is giving me enough vision of the river. So if you have a ward that gives you vision of the river, when it tells you that this crab is up in the river, it's not lying. So if you have vision of any part of the river, whether it's like, you know, a ward here, whether it's a ward in here, whether it's a ward here, and it says that the crab is there on your minimap, it is up. So I know this crab is up, so I just go and take it, right? Why not? Now, I don't have ultimate. I've got nothing up, so what am I going to do? I'm going to try farm as much as possible until I need to recall. But in this situation, I've got nothing to really do afterwards, right? I could go mid and farm, but I'm guessing my Xayah is going to do that. So I'm guessing what I do here is base after the crab. I am not near any camps. Like, I'm kind of near Raptors, I guess you could say. But I could just recall and get here at a very similar time with items, yeah? So I'm guessing after this crab, I'm just going to base. Yep, I do. Into a recall, and we run to Raptors that the enemy AD carry takes, and my whole jungle is watered again. Let's go. I remember we end up easily winning this game. Even though it has been like kind of difficult to get to this point, this still, in my opinion anyway, is an easy win. And you see how this Lillia has gone from 2-0-2 at like 8 minutes, 200 gold bounty. She was so fed to being actually behind me by 1.5k. Why? Nothing really I did. It's all on her making mistakes around timings and even micro. What am I doing here? What is there to do? So you might be asking, Eagz, what are you doing here? There's nothing to really play for, right? Apart from maybe next dragon. So if I go back here, let's get a timing for it. So let's see when I kill it here. Bang, right? So 13.55. So that's going to be 18.55, right? So close to 19 minutes this is going to respawn. Okay. So this dragon at 19 minutes, if we just forward this to about here, this is when I'm doing something right. Yeah, so this is where we are. So I've got dragon in 90 seconds. Atakan is on this side of the map. We can see the formation of the terrain. So we've got dragon in 90 seconds and Atakan up soon. There's nothing really, again, for me to do here apart from getting picks. So because I'm playing Shaco, it's a lot easier for me to get picks in mid lane than really any other champion, because how do I do it? I just queue over here or queue over here. Now, without a Ghost Blade, it becomes harder because I don't have as much movement speed, but I can still do it. But then, for any jungler, you again press tab, and I see this person who's doing well. And she does do well in this game. I needed her to do well because no one else is doing anything, and she did. Let's go. So I press tab, and I see Orianna, and I think, that's the person that I've got to kind of be near, if anyone really. So, let's see what we do. And there isn't much we can do here, right? So I'm sure like most people would do this. I'm just waiting to see if the Jinx moves up or if Pyke runs through, right? Again, I don't want to get spotted. So when your teammates hit walls, they'll be showing. Do not show near them. Stay away from vision. Stay in fog. Exactly the same move. We're going to queue over. I know this is very Shaco-esque, but we're going to queue over and sit in this brush. And if Lillia runs through, oh my goodness, like we're so happy, right? Because maybe we just get a kill for free. So we're going to wait. Pyke, unfortunately, is going to ward here. And I don't want to queue in because he can just ward and E out. And I'm also going into potential, like, Lillia ultimate, even though she doesn't have it. Wow, this is such a long cooldown. She used it up here, right, in this fight. I just thought she would have had it by now. Anyway. I don't want to go in because I don't actually know if I can do much to Pyke, and I might get caught. Okay? And who is not near me? The Orianna. So again, if I don't know the outcome of a micro situation, I'm not going to do it. Think about the one here where Lillia, or Irelia, sorry, was isolated. I queued over the wall. She was level 9. I backstabbed once. I have my ultimate to dodge her E. She's the only person there. When there's multiple people, my champion is not dealing single target. Or my champion is not dealing AoE. Sorry, it's been a long video. My champion is dealing single target damage. So if there's multiple targets in the area, I don't like it as much, yeah? It still can be done, don't get me wrong. Like, I've done it many times, but it's a little bit harder, right? And again, I don't want to lose much HP here, or I don't even want to just, like, risk dying potentially. I'd much rather go for just an easier kill. So again, if I don't believe in it, I'm not going to do it. That was really annoying. That is literally just down to ping. I would have dodged that, but yeah. Anyway, we get hit, which is pretty annoying, and I have to kind of, like, reposition in a way. So when I look at this mini-map here, I'm thinking, right, Orianna, again, she is the most fed champion, so I'm pinging on the way here. And it's a little bit unfortunate that I think this might be warded. It is, so they would have known I'm here. I queue over and she would have known, so I have to go back. A little bit annoying. I clear the vision, and already you can see how Dragon is spawning very soon. What do I do here? Well, what is there to do? They know I'm in the area, so it's very hard for me to actually do anything on Dragon here or get a pick because they've already seen me here, right? When I was in this brush, did you see how Pike had to kind of like carefully walk into the brush toward it or near it? Now they know exactly where I am. So I'm around this area. It's very, very difficult for me to make a play, so we just farm red buff. Unfortunately here, this Rakan went on Lillia, which is actually good, but can you also see, by the way, how this person is literally running in here with no ultimate? If I had Q here, by the way, I would have killed her. So again, this is very, very troll what this person is doing, and another big mistake. She's just very lucky that I don't have Q. And I don't think this is really a mistake from me, because how did I know that she was going to do that, right? So I'm queuing here for damage. That's really good damage, right? And it's not that long of a cooldown because I have haste from Cyclo. So I'm thinking if anything does happen, I'll have Q back up, and all of a sudden she just turns into a lunatic. Maybe she's tilted, but yeah, I think this is just like indicative of this elo, to be honest, and the decisions people make in terms of macro and micro. So after this, we're going to go where? Towards Orianna again. Playing around the objective on the sides, on the flanks, is easier than going straight through. Unless, of course, you are probably Shaco. Because I can queue over and I can get in this brush. If you're playing for grubs, you can queue over and get in this brush. Even with a point, even just, with 1 point in queue, you can queue over these walls and get in the brushes. So what are we going to do here? We're going to use our Q to get around the map. I'm going to queue in here. I'm going to play it patient. Thankfully, my team pops off and kills this person. So even though she had a massive lead in this game, she is throwing it. And trust me, guys, she really isn't too bad. So in your games, I think you're going to kind of like play against maybe, well, I don't want to say like lower caliber players, but yeah. This should give you encouragement. That's what I'm trying to say. Alright, so we blast going over. We're going to hit the Hextech Dragon. I'm going to auto-attack this. Notice as well here, by the way, how when we killed Aurelia, or Lillia, sorry, I keep getting these champions mixed up. When we killed the Lillia here, look at the minimap for me. So when we kill her here, my eyes look at the minimap, because I can't see anyone else. So again, I'm trying to look for some sort of target here. And all of a sudden, I see 1, 2, 3, 4. Jinx and Aurelia, who are very, very good attack damage dealers with attack speed. I'm thinking, these guys will obviously know that Dragon is gone here because we've killed their jungler for free, basically, and we're all full HP. So their only counterplay is to shove mid. So when I go for this Dragon, watch how I ping everyone off here. Signals, Zaya to fall back, and someone else maybe. But I'm trying to ping on their heads to say, I don't need you guys here. Go and defend our towers. I've got this. The other option is for one of them to come down here, right? Which just looks logical to me. Maybe a couple go mid, AD carry support. Orianna comes down here and gets that tower. That looks really good to me. But anyway, if you guys don't need your teammates to help you with an objective, grubs, dragon, whatever it is, please ping them off. Efficiency, yeah? Jinx misses her ultimate. Let's go. She was obviously trying to get someone else who was probably recalling, but we get the drag. Now, this is where it's a little bit hard to see what my brain is really envisioning here. But I just look at this mini-map and I think they're so far pushed up. That's all I'm thinking. So you could have probably been able to tell that I was looking to go bot after this. So I'm thinking my team's got that. They're just going to recall. But they actually like kind of trapped them here. So you see how I was clicking right? I'm going bot. I am going bot and shoving this wave in the next one. That will be here. It will come into lane. So I'm going to shove this. Next wave, get the tower. Oh, I'll have so much gold from that. But when I look at their champions, especially this person, I'm like, what are they doing here? Like, they're so far pushed up. Their Lily is dead. Like, I think that looks like a long time, right? But it's only about 15 seconds. And if I can get here, that Aurelia is going to be close to there, especially if my Rakan can annoy them. So, what do? I ping, and we go straight through mid. And we keep going. Let's see what happens. Again, there's the Jinx, so I'm going to queue in. Notice here how I queue away from where I'm facing. If I just queued in a straight line, maybe I'm getting hit by Aatrox Q, Jinx W, etc. So I queue away from where I'm going. Thankfully, the Jinx doesn't stay in the brush here, and you can see here how she traps herself and then runs away from the traps, which is interesting. And you might think, oh, Eagz, you're so lucky. Bro, it doesn't make a difference. Even if she holds onto her trap here and runs in the brush and traps herself, I still kill her, right? What she should do here is just sit in the brush. What would I do? I would put a box down when it comes off cooldown, and I would just sit in this brush. Maybe I even throw my ultimate in here to get vision of her. But yeah, that's not what happens. So again, I'm just reacting to what's in front of me. Make sure I get the backstab. Bang, bang, use my ult, and we eventually pick her up, right? We kill the Jinx. We kill the Aatrox for good measure. I'm low. Bot side is up. And also Anakan is up. So let's see if I ping Anakan here, guys. Remember how after a fight earlier in the game, I pinged Rift Herald and it was 52 seconds away. Anakan is up right now. And their team is respawning. We have gates, we've got home guards. If we all get there quick enough, we could do this here. But even if we can't do it right now, it's just the fact that that is the objective that is up. So I am looking to recall here and to be there on that timing, right? I've also got a ridiculous amount of gold, and you can see me here pinging it. I'm saying, guys, like, this Anakan is up. Let's get there. Let's try get a pick. And then if we do that, especially in this environment, which is very chaotic and unpredictable and people, you know, just face check things all the time, we get Anakan and the game is all of a sudden, you can see here, how we're still behind, by the way. Because, yeah, they've got, like, maybe more towers than us. I guess they've got, like, 6 towers. And, yeah, our bot lane is still pretty far behind the AD carry anyway. But, yeah, you can see how I'm always pinging the next timing. The Lillia here, does she ping it? No. There's no ping on it. There's no ping on a dragon. There's no ping on Rift Herald. There is nothing. It's just waddling around. And you saw how she was pinging, actually, for the first, like, 5, 6, maybe even, like, 8, 10 minutes. Where I was, she was actually pinging well. But that's it. It's just on me. It's not on timings or anything like that. It's not even on ultimates. So yeah, I think like that's the next step up from this elo anyway that I see, and that I've coached, you know, and like so many people around this elo, like Master or whatever. Maybe this is even like GM in some regions, that they don't really think about jungle in terms of like timings, and then when it comes down to like fighting champions in terms of ultimates and stuff like that. So we run out of base, we queue, we get the gate, and you can see how that when I'm pinging here, even though I am doing well, Orianna taking them, that was a bit toxic. Then I give her a thumbs up. But you see how when you ping these objectives, especially at this stage of a game, everyone becomes a jungler. Everyone's a jungler. What's just happened at Dragon before? It was like, well, it could have been a 5v5, but Lillia's here. The enemy team is warding around here. Yeah? Everyone becomes a jungler later in a game. So when you ping these objectives, think about it. Who doesn't want to get Anakan? Everyone loves Anakan. Mid laners, AD carry, supports. Everyone loves hitting Anakan. Who loves hitting Baron? Everyone does. Everyone basically is a jungler later in a game. So when you ping an objective like this, a jungle camp basically, they are going to also be there with you. So, we do this. Why are we doing this? Because we think the enemy team is slower here than us, and we're here right now hitting this, and they're out of base as well. So if I just go back a little bit, you see where we are? These guys are still spawning. Even if Aurelia has TP, I'm pretty sure Lillia doesn't have ultimate because she used it top to kill that Jax, even though Jax doesn't ping anything. Shout out to this guy. But I'm pretty sure I would have seen Lillia use her ultimate, but I don't actually ping it here, so maybe I didn't. So this is kind of troll. But Lillia not having ultimate, them being later than us here, we can really get this down low and, you know, get this before they get here, right? We've also got setup, so if they did want to come down and contest, we've got Orianna damage who's really fed, we've got Rakan with his ultimate. We still have enough resources here in micro. When I just say micro, I mean cooldowns, right? To deal damage to the enemy champs if they ever get close, yeah? Take my time here, dodge the Aurelia thing, get this, very nice. Kill the Aurelia. And this is actually a fight we lose, by the way. So you see how low my Xayah got? I don't know how my Xayah is that low. I really don't. But anyway, she is, and I think we end up actually losing this fight here. So I see Aatrox, and I'm like, holy shit, I don't want to go near that guy, so I'm going to box here. I ping to be careful as well, because Lillia's here, right, and their whole team is going to be here. And I also knew Xayah was low. And then all of a sudden, you're going to see this Jinx show here. So I actually run down a little bit. Can you see this? So if I queued back straight away, you should probably know that I'm here. But I'm actually faking to queue in. So if I was to queue over this terrain to get onto these champions, I would queue from probably where I am. So the Jinx is probably thinking I'm going in here. So I run a little bit further, and then I queue back into Jinx. Get a kill, but unfortunately I died to Lillia, which kind of sucks, right? And yeah, I don't know what the Xayah did. She flashes on me, which is okay. Almost kill her as well, which is pretty annoying. But yeah, so that's the first death of the game. I don't really think it was that bad. Maybe I should have, like, you know, gone on the Jinx straight away. But I actually really don't think that death was that bad. And again, I'm still in a great position here to win this game. So I still want to go through this, right? I don't really know what my other teammates did there. I'm pretty sure I could go through it and point out why Xayah's 1 HP. Because, yeah, I think it was, like, pretty troll. Just losing all her HP like that. And she even said at the end of this game, sorry. So respect to her for that. Anyway, okay. So same thing here, right? We look at this minimap and we think, what is the next timing, right? So if we think about when Dragon is. So when was this? I'm doing this dragon and we finish it now. So that's 1920. So we've got 2420, right? 2420 for the drag. Okay. And this is where they kill me, right? So 2420. So we've got like 3 minutes until the dragon. So nothing is really up. So I look at this minimap and I think, where am I going to go here? Well, my top side here probably dictates me more than anything. Why? Because it's 400 golden experience and it's still important at this stage of the game. As far as objectives go, what would I want? Well, there's no river objectives. Dragon isn't up until 2420. So we've got ages until that. So what I'm really thinking about here is that tower. So, thinking about my top cans being worth a lot of golden experience still, and I also don't want Lillia just to run in here and getting them all, right? That would really suck. And I actually think she does, by the way. But anyway, if I can salvage any of these, I will. And then I'm going to be thinking about, again, probably where Orianna is, which is hopefully where this bot tower is. Why is this bot tower the best? It's because it's nearest to our safety. That tower is more difficult to get because it's closer to their base. This one is closer to ours. Not in comparison to where it is to the enemy base, but this is closer than that, obviously. So that's where I want to play here. Mid tower is just harder to breach by getting the outer ones first. Mainly because, you know, the space here, you can't really, like, gank anyone behind the tower. If someone's holding this tower, you can just, like, trap them, right? And kill them. So outer towers are just easier and the game will naturally break, hopefully. So let's see what I do. So I'm going to skip this to when I'm alive. Here we go. And you can see how Lillia's taking my camps. Like, oh, that's so annoying, you know? Like, I'm losing my whole top side to this person. But it is what it is. But thankfully, I defended my camps. Let's go. So I'm really happy here. We do Gromp. What is the next play? The Jax is topside. I see this Aurelia, though, and I think, wow, this person is trolling. Why do I think she's trolling here? I just have some sort of feeling that their team is on a recall because Lillia won the fight and she's on gold. So when she was doing my blue here, right, I kind of chased her off her camps again. So if I can fight this Aurelia right now, I don't think Lillia is going to be in a great position to fight because she needs to spend her gold. It's very similar to the Grubs play, right? She's just staying on the map. So here I'm thinking, right, let's fight. And I've got my ultimate, I've got Ignite, I feel good. So I ping on the way and start a fight. I think I might die here. I can't remember if we win or lose. But yeah, I backstab right. She's going to ult in. I should probably go a little bit harder there, but yeah. And unfortunately, this is so aged. She actually goes for the right one. So I think most people here, bro, would like actually run off. It looks like as well, I'm amazed she goes for me here. I've got no real regrets with this play. I don't think it's that bad. Putting the box down is questionable, but yeah. I don't really have too many regrets about this play. I know it looks a little bit weird, but I think a lot of the time this is just going to work. Maybe there's something to be said about it, but the main point about this, guys, is that I think this is hard winning, and I know it is, because the Lillia is on a recall. So just knowing that Lillia is on a lot of gold here, look at the item diff. Because that person is on a lot of gold, and because I don't think she has her ultimate up, because it's a long cooldown, and because I have mine back up, I'm out of base for Ignite, and this person isn't really that scary. Oh, actually has these. Yeah, that's such a fun item to versus Shaco. But I think we can just kill her, right? So I Q in. It's a little bit awkward on ping here when she does this. Very awkward, actually. So what I probably should do is auto-attack her like a couple more times, or maybe once more. But yeah, I also don't know what that guy's doing either. Anyway, let's continue. So I end up dying here, but I think the fight doesn't go too bad. again, like I said, even with me dying here, we still end up doing pretty well, right? I'm just going to skip all this as well, okay? So please forgive me. This is just like without me. So I'm spawning now. So here I go. And what am I looking at? Dragon, right? 2420. So this is in 50 seconds, yeah? So we're going to run out here. And I'm guessing I'm going to do Krugs into red or something. Red buff first is fine as well. And after red, what are we going to do? There's a fight going on. Do I think we're going to win? Depends, right? You just have to judge these situations in the game you're actually in. There's no, like, set rule here. So I see Jack's half HP, and he's kind of killing everyone. Then I see Rakan's kind of full HP, Zaya's out of base, and I'm like, oh, yeah, maybe we actually win this. And again, like, I'm pretty fed with my ultimate coming off cooldown. So I'm going to run here. We're going to queue in. I'm going to kill this person. I think Aatrox does end up killing me here, which sucks. Yeah, so that, like, kind of feels bad. I'm not really that, again, don't really have that many regrets about that play. It's just a little bit annoying that my Jax went in that deep. But just remember, we still end up winning this game. So I really don't think that was that bad. I'm still in a position where I'm going to one-shot people. Like, I'm so fed still. And we got a kill on Pyke. It might even have been a shutdown. Yes, Aatrox killed me, but I still got a kill there, and it wasn't, like, the worst fight in the world. It definitely wasn't, like, bad. That's what I think anyway. Okay, so let's continue. Again, I kind of want to go to when I'm running out of base. So they get dragged here, right? Because I'm dead. So unlucky. So you might be like, oh, Eagz, that was such a troll fight. Honestly, I really think it's fine. And yeah, Aatrox, I guess, with all that armor is just really fun to verse. I don't know if he had a heart steal before in that fight, but yeah, anyway. Okay, so we run out of base, clear my bot side. Why am I clearing bot side? Because I want to get rid of some of these. Well, let me just have a look here. So while we're running bot side, probably just want to get rid of Raptors and then I go here. The other option is just to run straight top with the Hextech Gate and like into these areas. But I'll do that anyway just after Raptors. So I'm just going to get rid of Raptors and then I'm going to go into Baron, right? You can see me asking for wards here. I also might look to kill Jinx here. And I actually think I do. But the annoying thing about Jinx, it's like playing against Sivir as Shaco. And this is kind of bad movement. But I can't get on her anyway. So what I should probably do here is just click back. So please be disciplined with this, guys. I might even be a little bit tilted here. But yeah, like Jinx with the AoE on the wave will show me. Just like a Sivir W. A Sivir W will actually hit you here. I also think it's the same with Luden's. So Luden's Tempest, you know, like the splash damage on it. I think it will also hit you in Q. So please be very careful of standing near minions. Same with Malzahar as well, by the way. That tick thing that goes to the next target, it will also hit you. Alright. We do Gromp because there's nothing else to do. Remember, they know I'm here. Okay, at this point in time, they know I'm around this area, so it's, again, a lot harder for me to make plays. Also, my most fed teammate is bot side here. I don't really want to be bot side. Why? Because Baron's up. So if I go bot here, I'm losing Baron. That's not good. So the only reason I'm ever going to go bot is because they have multiple numbers bot lane, and I know they just can't do it, right? Instead, I look for a pick on the support. Really, really clean. 3 backstabs, ignite, E, collector finishes him off. Getting picks like that again around objectives when you're not that strong, like we're still behind by 5-6k, is huge. So we get that kill, and here, because we got that kill, we want to try do something around Baron, right? Because we have numbers advantage. But unfortunately here, my Jax is in a 1v1. Orianna base, I'm not sure what's going on, but yeah, Jax wins. And then here, we're like, right, let's do Baron, guys, come on. Now, if we can fight them, though, even better. So I ping the Lillia, who's caught out. Again, I space her Q perfectly. I need to wait for Aatrox, and remember here, just watch this again for me in terms of micro. I don't have Q up, right? Because I just used Q to catch this person. I'm pinging her, like, let's go. She's isolated. We want to fight ASAP. We're 5v3, essentially, with Jax TPing in, maybe. So we E her here. So I Q in an E, and look at my Q. I can't really run into her here. Why? Because she's just going to Q or W straight away, and I'm going to lose a lot of HP. So lots of Shaco players here might just run in like lunatics. Nah, bro, like, that's cooked. We need to chill here. And again, like a lot of these fights, is respect your Q cooldown. Okay? So I'm just trying to space her here. We dodge her Q. Now, I still can't go in even when she uses Q. Why? Because the Aatrox is here. If this was Lillia on her own, I probably wouldn't care too much. And I might even consider smiting her here, right? Which I think I end up doing, right? So I smited her, and yeah, away we go. Altered her R here so we don't get stunned. I don't actually know if she used it on me. I think she just used it on Rakan, actually. But anyway, she doesn't have her ult on me. Maybe I altered it. And yeah, as soon as my Q's up here, right, I'm just looking to deal damage. And then we go for a hit. It's very hard for me to do anything just because of the that AoE here, right? But honestly, like, I really don't think there's much else for me to do here. It kind of looks like dog shit champion type of fight. Because it is very hard for me to do anything. But yeah, Aatrox being this fed, the AoE from the Jinx here as well. I was just trying to kill the Lillia. But you see like how it's that difficult for me to get on her. And then I'm like, oh, she's going to Q me and I'm going to die. And unfortunately here, she like ran and chased me and then hit a Q. I don't even think she meant to do this, by the way. But unfortunately she did. But we end up winning this fight anyway. Why? Because I Q'd in, I pinged the Lillia, I pressed E on her. The Rakan caught her. So even if I die here, it's really not the worst thing in the world. Because I kind of did my job, right? Even just hitting the Aatrox with Cyclo Sword was useful enough. And we did as much as we could. Maybe I should have like backstabbed her here or tried to. But anyway. So we're going to forward this. And I'm going to skip it. And for the rest of this game, we go 8-1. So I think the rest of this game, again, will be kind of like informative. So yeah, we'll have to watch it, mate. I'm just going to show you this here. So my team ends up killing Aurelia. And they get the Baron, which is cool. And you might be like, oh, Eagz, you're getting carried now. Not really. Like, my team is finally in a position, the Zarya, anyway, to actually deal damage and stuff, right? Why do I have the Zhonya's thing in my head? There we go. For some reason, the Zhonya's sound is attached to the Baron pit, but yeah. Okay, so we're watching this fight, right? And the Jinx dies, or does she die? No, she gets out. So yeah, I'm running out of base. The Lillia is still pinging me, which is, yeah. And anyway, I think I can kill this guy again. Like, when Jack stuns him, I'm like, oh my god, I can kill him here. And I was really close to killing him there, but he ran out of vision. So that's why I've got to put a box down here, because then I can E him. So because he E'd over the wall, I couldn't E him anymore. So that was kind of unfortunate. Well played by him, I guess, but a little bit annoying. Maybe if I'm on ping, I kill him there. Anyway, I'm pretty low here, so I'm actually scared of Lillia taking Hextech gates like into my jungle, or just anyone being in there. So I'm like, oh shit, I really don't want to run into that stuff. So I'm just going to safely farm my camps here, right? And you can even see me how I'm farming these, kind of like away from the fog and stuff, because I don't want to get ambushed. So I recall here after my top side, and I think I might have an item. Okay, so I think I just bought IE, so we run out of base. And I got LDR third here, by the way, because this guy had Zhonya's, steel caps. Yeah. So we got LDR third. Okay, so we do red buff, and now what? Because dragon is what we're playing for. There's dragon, so think about what we did before, right? We want to play for either Jinx mid, where our Orianna is, and around flanks if we can. But again, it's just about champions here. You've got to be creative, and you've got to think about angles. There's a ward. I don't want to run over it, right? So I'm going to wait until Jax clears it. Now I'm going to be out of vision unless that's warded, which it isn't, so you can see they can't see me. And probably the same thing, right? It's just going to be rinse and repeat. I go in, Pike's in the brush. Unfortunately, my teammates kind of move. Oh, it's so lucky, right? Well, unlucky, I guess. But yeah, we move in, we push them out of the dragon pit, and here, all I'm doing is just waiting for Qs. So even at this point, right, I'm queuing in, see if I can get a pick. I put a box down in this brush, because that lets us know, like, who's coming in and stuff. Unfortunately, there's a ward here, which I should probably clear. Like, I'm actually drunk by not clearing that. But, yeah, I didn't actually realize that, that was warded. And here, this is where my Jax starts to pop off. So someone on this team is really unleashing now. Let's go. So Jax does this, and as a Shaco player, you have to be creative with your movement. So I'm going here, because if I go straight into the fight, what does that mean? AoE, Lillia, etc. So I'm going around here to try and find myself some sort of angle. So here comes Aatrox. So I'm going to Q, Ignite, and we eventually get him right. Jax does well and kills him. That there, though, like lots of Shacos would have just gone in a straight line into God knows what, and probably not done anything. You have to think about angles of attack. If you're just going straight beelining it in, you're going to cop damage and probably die without even knowing it. Just like I did here. But I think I almost had to do that, you know? There isn't really much else for me to do there but try to deal damage. But if you have a choice, obviously try to hit flanks. Okay? Anyway, we do blue buff, and we come down, and we do dragon right. And again, if I don't need the Jax here, I'm going to ping this tower, right? So, see what I mean? Like, I can even tell just by looking at the minimap what he should be doing and what I should be doing. And thankfully, I get this on 14 HP or 86, whatever it was. Let's go. I hate Jinx. And after this, I'm like, well, what can I do here? Well, they've got no vision of what I'm doing, and I'm pretty sure I can do their Gromp, because the Lillia's top side, I think. Or she, like, shoved mid and then ran top, something like that. So, I'm going to take her Gromp, and then I'm going to set up here. Now, this is my last death in this game, and I think my Jax kind of trolls me here. 1 second. So, this Jax is kind of going to... I don't want to say run it down, because, again, it's just, like, a bit toxic. But I still think, like, he really misplays, because I think me setting up here... Look at my damage. Like, I've got a lot of damage here. My ultimate's back up. So, if anyone face checks the Jax or this, you know, brush and chases him, we should do well. And when I see Jinx top, I'm like, oh, that's really troll. Like, she should probably die if I was there. But unfortunately, I'm here now. So I might as well try to set up, and hopefully someone chases this guy. It's just a little bit unfortunate. And again, this is where my mental, I think, has gotten better. Where even though I die here and a couple of times before in this late game, it's not the end of the game. and I'm in a position to still carry. Okay, so you don't always have to expect yourself to, like, you know, get pentakills and get 3 kills and get out and stuff like that. You are going to have deaths, and you just need to accept them. Okay, and this is one where I just accepted it because I don't really think I did too much wrong, so I'm not going to be that displeased. So as we're going to see, I'm putting boxes down. And the Aurelia, he uses E for some... I don't even know why he uses E like that. Maybe to bait them. But then Aatrox comes, and I get really unlucky here because I Q in, and then she Qs onto the Jax. So she goes from, like, here to here, and, you know, there's distance between us. And, yeah, I barely get onto her here, and then I've got to, like, ult, you know, and then we just both die, which sucks. So, yeah, you see me pinging Jax there. Don't do that in your games. But I was a little tilted, like, how he played it like that. He could literally just run off with his E up, and we actually probably win this, maybe. That's the funny thing here, because we kill Aurelia so quickly, and maybe we have enough to kill Aatrox, even though he is quite fed. But that would be the ideal situation. He just used his E. So if the Jax told me, Eagz, I'm going to use my E like that, I would never make this play. So I'm kind of trusting him to hold his E, because it's important. But anyway, shit like that is going to happen. Okay, so I'm going to forward this, and we're going to see what's spawning on the map. So here I am running out of base. What am I going to do? Of course, I'm going to take this, because their team is topside, so let's try and make something happen. We can't, though. All right, whatever. Stay out of vision here. And you can see how someone is TPing on my team to there. Don't know why, but it's Rakan. He's got Spellbook. Let's go. So in this situation, yes, I could maybe, like, run mid lane or try get a pick somewhere else. So let me just say this. If I thought Jinx was going to run through here, I'm going to queue like that. So yes, the Aurelia is the main kill here, right? Because we've got, like, 3 people running at her, and she looks caught out. And Lillia's top. So it looks good. But just like the box play here, if you guys remember, where I boxed here, and then I could have queued into the fight, I decided to queue back for Jinx. So you can always, like, kind of use this as, like, a little misdirection. You know what I mean? Everyone's going to be attracted to this, and the Jinx might just right-click here on her minimap and just run down automatically. And all of a sudden, I know she is, so I'm going to queue up. So you can kind of, like, catch people off guard when they rotate down to her side lanes here. And yeah, she uses TP. I don't know why. I queue in, and we get a kill. I insta-recall because I want to defend our top side. So we run out of base. I'm going to go down here. Why? Because all of this is probably warded, right? So I'm going to go down here. We're going to queue over. I'm going to look to get in this brush. There's Pyke. We're going to box it first. Why box it first? For vision. And also it might box... it might block a Pyke queue. And then we're going to move over to Baron. This guy's dead. So if we don't start Baron here, even though it looks a little bit flippy, we're trolling. Orianna has TP, it's 5v4. So in your games, ping the Baron, start it. Your teammates will respond to you. You're just not communicating at all in your games. So yeah, we get the Baron, thankfully. And I want to get out here, right? Because we've got the Baron. And just think about it from my point of view. Even if my teammates are in a good position here, I'm just letting them know I don't have my ultimate here. I don't have this, guys. So if I go in on someone, I can't dodge Lillia ult, even though she just used it, right? But I can't dodge stuff here. So I'm a little bit hesitant. So that's what I'm telling you to my... I'm not saying, like, we should back off, but I'm saying, like, my position here, I don't know if I like it. So I'm not sure. What do I do here? Think about where the fight's going to be in this area. So what do I want to do? I want to go around, if I can. I want to be creative. I don't want to run around into the fight itself, right? So I'm kind of running around here, just almost protecting my Xayah. This guy runs in, we kill him, thankfully, or I do. Let's go. So this here was just isolating Aatrox, right? So think about, like, what I said before. I said about isolating champions. I look at this and I think, can you see how I'm clicking back here? I'm actually thinking already about doing this. But when I see Aatrox pushing up like a complete lunatic, like, look at this. The Jax is to the right of him. I don't see any of his teammates on my screen unless I do that, which is miles away. So I'm like, oh, this guy's just isolated. Let me go in. And with Jax done, we end up doing well, right? And we kill this guy. It's very, very close, but yeah. And same thing. I want to get creative. I want to play flanks, but I'm also very low. So how can I heal up? Do a jungle camp. So I quickly do blue buff. At this stage of the game, you basically one-shot it. So we do blue buff here. Nice and easy. And we run off back into the fight and try and make something happen. How can we make something happen here? Let's keep watching. We count cooldowns. Aurelia used her ultimate. She does have passive stacks, though, so we have to respect it. A Q and an auto attack, and I might die, to be honest. So I've really got to respect this, so I'm going to Q in. We're going to E, or E the Lillia, after backstabbing Aurelia. We space it a little bit, and then we run in, and Orianna gets a kill, right? Now what do we play for? Dragon. So I don't actually know when this dragon is up. So I'm guessing it's in a little bit of time. Because if it was up right now, I would just run there and do it, yeah? So I could even consider recalling here or looking for a camp. So let's see what I do. Okay, so I look for a camps and then I base, right? And I think I'm asking for assistance here on drag. There you go. So again, I'm pinging what I am playing for the entire game, guys. It doesn't change early game to mid game to late game. Late game, the only difference is that you do things quicker. That's it. You farm camps quicker and you have more movement speed. The game will feel just sped up. So the early game is like you're walking on a treadmill, and the later the game goes, the more that treadmill speeds up. That's it. Nothing changes. Instead of saying the first dragon, we say elder. Instead of saying grubs, we say baron. These are still resources you think about in the same way. We're just changing the name of them. Okay, and here, what do? Set up. Try get a pick or something. Like, dragon isn't really spawning yet, and their team's obviously going to run through. So let's try get a pick. Aatrox is here, so I'm going to backstab the Cyclo Sword. Run off, because I don't really want to fight him. I'm going to Q in, hit the Jinx, get a free kill. Again, I don't want to talk too much about these fights, unless I think it's something very important in terms of micro. This guy just flashed in. We're going to Q, which we have done. We're going to E him. Oh, this champ is so annoying. Look at that. I actually have to ult there, man. GG. Maybe I should have ulted before because he does like one-shot me. But anyway, we played this well enough to kill him. And I remember I put boxes around as well. So like during the fight, if you can put boxes down, it's very, very important. We're going to get the drag, avoid the Lillia E. And then what are we waiting for? An opportunity to strike. This Aurelia, we don't want her to come in, right, and kill us with a Q or something. So I'm going to wait. You see how I Q'd in there and I would have backstabbed her? So again, patience. The enemy champions will tell you when to Q in. We cut her off. We get the kill. Now I've randomly got 19 kills in this game. And we think we can end the game maybe. Why? Because Aurelia, Lillia, Aatrox, they're all dead. But also we're on gold. We're all very low. Running out of base, where do we go? We could go top. For these resources, maybe, if I know they're up, we could also get this tower. So let's see what we do here, actually. It depends, like, kind of where the carries go. Yeah, so if Oriana's going bot here, I kind of want to just play bot, you know? But we'll see. Never mind, I'm pinging top. I think I'm probably pinging top because it's easier to play around these resources, right? So, yeah, kind of got that one wrong, but... Kill the pike here. Again, pretty standard stuff. I see the pike running around. So it's not actually pretty standard stuff because I know that from coaching so many Shaco players, like they don't actually see this. Look where the pike is and look where he's hitting the ward. He's hitting the ward to the left of it, right? And then I see him. So whenever you clear a control ward like this, even Trinket, I think, you're going to see them for like half a second afterwards. So I see him move to the left here. So that means he's going to move left, right? And he's a support. He's probably going to ward a brush. That's the brush he's probably going to ward. So I expect it, and I Q over, and there he is. He's obviously warded. Bang, and bang. He dies. Oh my god, Shaco's so broken. Yeah, no shit. I've got 6 items. He's got no armor. That's how it should be. Guys, like my evil laugh. I'm here, again, just about playing Shaco, right? So using Q and stuff, not getting too close to the scary champions. So Aatrox, Aurelia no E, right? So count and cooldowns, Aurelia no E. There's the thing. And I'm going to use my Q here. Honestly, what would have been cool if I use my Q here again, like misdirection. But I know that no one else is here because Jinx is bot. So if the Jinx was, if I thought Jinx was around this area, right, running to this fight, instead of queuing like this here, watch how I Q here. I would actually Q just straight down here if I thought Jinx was coming to this fight like this. Or if I was up here, instead of queuing over, I'd Q over like that. Very important little things like that. But yeah, we just Q over and kill this person, right? Nice easy kill. Chase Aatrox a little bit, but yeah. And now we just go mid and try end the game. You can see how I run into Jinx. Alter at the end. This is all good. And yeah, that's basically the game. I really hope you guys enjoyed this. I haven't really done this long of a video, especially going to mid-late game stuff. But it is literally the same as early game, man. And hopefully it was useful me pointing out the Lillia's mistakes, because the only reason this game is winnable is if she lets it be winnable by not playing optimally. So hopefully that was useful to you guys. I might even upload this to YouTube just uncut. So yeah, shout out to everyone on there. Please leave a like on the video. Let me know in the comment section what you want to see next. Any questions you might have about the gameplay as well. And yeah, stay safe out there, eh? Good luck in your games. Don't be shit, bye.